Hi guys, it's Abeni Love. Today we're watching Baddies South, the reunion part 1 recap by Sajada. So I've been watching Baddies South and I've been enjoying it, thoroughly enjoying it. It's a bit of me, that is. And yeah, I watched the reunion yesterday and it was, I mean, like they couldn't even start the bloody thing. Like crazy and then what's her name? Sydney Sky showing up. It's madness. But anyway, this is Sajada's recap of the episode, and I've been looking forward to this because I like Sajada. She covers Bad Girls Club, all of that. Shout out to Sajada. Um, yeah, so check out her videos if you're interested in this kind of stuff. But yeah, let us watch. So excited. Why am I excited?
Hey Bob, welcome back to another Baddie South recap. Today we'll be talking about Baddie South Reunion Part 1. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also stay tuned until the end of this video so we can talk about this nonsense some more. So as we all suspected, Part 1 of this reunion was a hot mess. We also got maybe 10 minutes of the reunion stage itself. Majority of the episode was the cast members and hosts discussing topics while in their dressing rooms. If you've been watching Zeus for the past couple of years, you should know that this is standard for all of their reunions. I also told you guys that this was going to happen, therefore I'm not disappointed at all because I already knew what to expect. But anyways, let's summarize some of the dressing room talk. By now you guys should already know who had beef with who. Rolly, Slim, and Sway were all in a room together. And of course, Rolly and Slim's biggest target was Natalie. Not only because of the drama in the house, but the social media drama as well. Y'all know these girls run their mouths a lot, and one thing Natalie Nunn is going to do is leave shady comments under the blog's post, so Rolly wanted to check that. Rolly feels like Natalie has some sort of entitlement problem, and feels like she owns people. Rolly also doesn't even think Natalie deserves the EP title, because she can't even get things under control, including her own cast. Slim pretty much agreed with all of this as well, and another thing I wanted to mention was the fact that Rolly expressed her issue with Scotty. Again, this has to do with people running their mouths on social media while the show was airing. And in Scotty's case, she said a couple of things during her confessionals that Rolly felt some type of way about. I already told you guys how I felt about that particular situation. I personally paid Scotty no mind. But if you're going to say something about somebody behind closed doors, be a real one and be willing to say it to their face. Okay, so let's discuss Natalie and Scotty, who were in a room together as well. Natalie's biggest beef is with Rolly, and as I already mentioned, it has to do with the social media drama. Scotty, on the other hand, was acting oblivious. She doesn't understand why Rolly has such a problem with her and considers her to be fake. According to Scotty, she didn't participate in the trash talking Natalie did when it came to Rolly on IG Live, so the beef with her specifically is unnecessary. However, there's something important that I wanted to point out with Natalie and Scotty's conversation. Just yesterday, I dropped a video about why Natalie is one of the baddest bad girls, not because of her fights, not because of her fakeness, but her being able to market herself using the clout from BGC and other reality TV shows and making a career out of it. Natalie's been in the TV personality business for over 10 years. During her conversation with Scotty, she was making it known that she's not going anywhere, regardless of how these girls feel about her, fight her, expose her, etc. Because when it comes to reality TV, she's one of the OGs. If you have common sense, you should know that the hate Natalie receives is just fuel to keep her relevant. Sis is going to make a bag no matter what, and that's all she cares about. But it is unfortunate that she earns her money by being so vindictive. But she isn't the only reality TV star that does that, if y'all want to be honest. Moving on to Jayla and Krishan. What I liked about Jayla and Krishan's conversation is the fact that it was genuine. They've clearly grown to care for each other even after the filming of Baddies South. I know y'all remember our previous discussions where we talked about how Jayla made slick comments about Krishan too, and some of y'all found it very weird how all of a sudden they were besties. Based on Krishan's and Jayla's conversation, Krishan wanted to clear the air about anything Natalie may have told Jayla that she said and vice versa. She said that sometimes she would feel vulnerable and comfortable enough to have deep conversations with Natalie, and then Natalie will switch it up and turn it into something that it's not. It kind of reminds me of high school beef. Remember when you would tell a friend some information out of confidence, and next thing you know you have a group of girls not liking you or wanting to fight you? Extremely childish. But I like that Krishan wanted to clear the air and make sure that she and Jayla were good before they went out on stage, and Natalie attempted to spill even more tea that would drift them two apart. So Slim, Bree, and Anne's conversation seemed very weird to me. Is it just me, or was the vibe off between them three?
Yeah.
It's like they like each other, but not really. Anyways, Anne told the girls that she's going by Bianca for the day and that she doesn't know who Anne is. I'm still calling her Anne though, but I understand why she was doing that. Anne said that after the filming of the show, she went home and had to check herself. And when she attempted to watch the show, she was disappointed in the way that she acted and said that it gave her PTSD. She couldn't even recognize her true self because of her own behavior. I always find comments like this very interesting. These girls go on shows like this and purposely act out for views and ratings, and it's not like you were under the influence the entire time. You were very much aware of what you were doing. But now that things have escalated and you receive tons of backlash, especially via social media, now you want to say that you're not the same person. Listen, I'm all for growth, so I'm proud of her for checking herself, but I don't necessarily feel sorry for her, if that makes any sense. Other than that, I didn't know that Anne and Scotty had some tension with each other. I guess Anne had spilled some information that Scotty didn't want her to, and because they were supposedly friends, Scotty felt a way about it. They addressed it in the dressing room and just left it at that. Anne didn't seem too apologetic about it either, to be honest. And as far as Brie, she doesn't have any ongoing beef with anyone, but she came prepared to fight just in case, I guess. Can you blame her though? With the way that Zeus's reunions are, you have to expect any and everything.
But who was
After
she
the
fighting?
dressing room talk,
Anyway,
I was hoping that Zeus would have cut to the reunion from there, because we've seen a lot at this point. But nope, it skipped over to the hosts Trina and Janisha talking about the show and what they're expecting to happen during the reunion. Well, what they're hoping to happen. So yeah, we're just going to skip right over that part. After some unnecessary clips, it was finally reunion time. Janisha started it off per usual, and can I just say that she always looks so beautiful. But anyway, she calls Trina out, who looked beautiful as well, and they attempted to introduce the Baddies South cast. But before the girls came out on stage, Natalie, Rolly, and Slim get into it. All you hear is a bunch of yelling and commotion going on and security rushing backstage. Long story short, Rolly and Slim were trying to get at Natalie the second they saw her, but security wasn't trying to let them fight, so the girls were throwing things, screaming, and arguing per usual.
Didn't even get
Y'all
out
know I
on
pay
the
stuff like that
fucking
no mind.
stage.
But what I did pay mind to was Krishan dying laughing at all three of them. She found it hilarious. Throughout the madness that was going on, Sydney Starr shows up and security refuses to let her in. Sydney said that Natalie promised her a seat at the reunion, which I doubt Sydney lied about. And honestly, I'm starting to think that Natalie gave Sydney all those locations too. But anyways, Natalie told security to not let her in. And after that, it was pure chaos. Sydney starts going off on Natalie and tells her that all she does is lie and be a bad friend. Although Sydney isn't lying about Natalie's fake behavior, I can't help but wonder why these girls put themselves in situations like this. Natalie got you out here looking a fool, and even though she's to blame, you need to be blaming yourself too. How many times are you going to let someone lie and manipulate you? Girl, know your worth and get it together. You're a brand and you have your own clout. Make things happen for yourself other than waiting for someone else to make it happen for you. Natalie isn't the one you should be running behind at all. You should know how she moves by now. So therefore, I can't feel bad for you. Alright, so after the Sydney commotion, it's finally reunion time again. Trina and Janisha introduce the cast and have them walk out on stage. Natalie and Slim get into a brief argument while Natalie was walking out, and during the Baddies South recap, aka the super trailer that we've all seen already, Rolly, Natalie, and Slim get into an argument. Natalie walks up to Rolly, kicks, but Rolly low-key catches her foot. Natalie slips on her jacket, and then Rolly handles her from there. Even Rolly was laughing at the fact that Natalie ran up and fell on her own jacket. Like, sis, how you run up and get done up?
Oh, gosh.
And I know y'all saw Natalie's eye, too. You could tell it was swelling up after Rolly did what she did. However, the issue was that Slim jumped in while Rolly and Natalie were fighting. She was trying to get some hits in from the side. That's when Krishan jumped in and started swinging on Slim. Krishan has her own issues with Natalie, so personally, I don't think that she jumped in because she wanted to really protect Natalie. I think she jumped in just off of principle. We all know that Krishan's been wanting to fight Slim again for the longest. So seeing her jump into a fight that she knows she didn't need to jump into set Krishan off. I know Slim is going to have Rolly's back no matter what, but I'm actually surprised that she jumped in. I thought she would have waited to have her fair one with Natalie too. Eventually, Natalie got Slim back, and to me, it looked like she connected. If she actually did connect, I'm proud of her for that, because Slim really did not need to jump in. Scotty and Rolly get into it as well, because Scotty wanted to defend Natalie, even though she's not a fighter. This led to Rolly slapping the heck out of her. That slap was heard throughout the entire building, I swear. It was one of those slaps that your mom gives you for being disrespectful and talking back. Trust me, I know. But in typical Zeus fashion, they left us with a cliffhanger and ended the episode right there. Part 2 is going to be a lot of fighting, some dialogue, then even more fighting to the point where Natalie leaves her own show's reunion. But we'll talk about that next week. Alrighty, Mom. So that is pretty much it for today's video. I don't think y'all can see the toys on the floor in the background. Y'all nephew has been on a rampage ever since he turned 3. Like, when I mean he's been acting up the entire weekend and also today as well, y'all need to come get him. But let's talk about the reunion some more. Honestly, it was the typical Zeus reunion, so I can't say it was good, I can't say it was bad. All I can say is that it's average. Whenever Zeus has a reunion for one of their shows, I know to expect a dragged out reunion. I know to expect little to no dialogue. I know to expect tons and tons of fighting. So I go into it now expecting all of that. So I don't expect anything more. So accepting Zeus for who they are, basically, I guess you could say the reunion was average. Nothing really annoyed me, to be honest with you. Obviously, the dressing room talk did. I was hoping that it would have been limited. That last scene with Krishan and Jayla, if they would have just cut it off right then and there, it would have been perfect because we didn't really need to see Janisha and Trina in the trailer talking. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's unnecessary, but it is what it is. I will say that you could definitely tell that some of the girls were, like, drunk. Natalie definitely was drunk, and I'm not using that as an excuse. You could just tell sis was drunk. Krishan, she seemed a little bit drunk as well because she kept interrupting Janisha as she was talking. That was a little frustrating to watch, I'm not gonna lie to you. And other than that, I mean, you know, there's really not too much to talk about because when things started getting intense, that's when they want to cut off the episode. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait until next week to talk about it some more. And you know what else too? I feel like because the girls be having so much social media beef, it's almost like we already know the tea. So I feel like it spoils it for the reunion. Does that make any sense to you guys? All that happens on the reunion is them actually physically fighting, which is, you know, it's cool and all, but that's not why I personally tune into a reunion. Like, I want y'all to talk about it. There is supposed to be some dialogue. So next week, I think we are gonna get a little bit more dialogue though. I know that Krishan gets emotional at some point, so we'll see what happens. But other than that, you guys let me know how you feel about everything in the comment section down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2 next week. And until then, I guess we'll just be seeing them go back and forth on social media. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. I'm excited for next week. I mean, I get what Sajada's talking about, saying, you know, it's average, but I can't lie. I tune in for that shit. Like, we watch because we know that it's gonna be that. It's gonna be beef. It's gonna be hands. It's gonna be screaming, yelling. It's gonna be talking behind people's backs. And that's what it was. But I'm just surprised that they didn't even make it to the stage, and already it was kicking off. Like, so much happened before they even got on the stage. When they got on the stage, there was still so much talking, so much, you know, and the Monster E coming left, right, and centre. I was like, how are they gonna get through this? But anyway, whatever. We'll see you next week for Sajada's recap, since we can't really watch, you know, the full episodes here on YouTube like that, because people, as Sajada says, they be copywriting. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.